Alright, got it. I know if timer is running on the event. I don't see it.
Alright, here we are. Off we go. So I'm on a little bit of a delay. We're going to start off, because we're going so fast, by going straight to course 2 instead of course 1. Even though we're doing 100%. And the first thing we're going to do is the obelisk jump, which is like the hard star that's in this course. The movement's pretty weird. You want to like sort of get onto that side triangle before you do the dive, and it stops the slope from eating your jump, but it's like hard to communicate. So we start off with a beautiful scenic dive into a swimming pool. It's very handy that you can just do that one first as a reset point if you struggle on it. So where I can't remember is pretty heavily story-based, which we will be seeing very little of because we don't have time to read text boxes. So I will do my best at trying to explain what's going on, but we have skipped straight into the city, so to be honest, there is very little that's really happened at this point in the game, and since it's already open to you anyway. This course is probably the smallest one, I guess. I was really happy when I made it because it was like really vertical and you had like lots of options for getting around. Like you can see how Rush is like sort of skipping the path up the side of the building there and then going across on the slope of the roof and stuff. But then all the objects I put in the level just made it all lag a lot, and I don't know, it just ended up not being very satisfying to play at all, unfortunately. So most of the mechanics are still vanilla, so we're going to be getting 100 coins. Meter-made Mario. So named because all of the red coins are on a car. So the story behind this hack is Scuttlebug Razor had a competition to make a hack with 30 stars, and we had, I can't remember how much time, it was like 40 days or something. Something like that. It was like a month a bit. There was some time limits on how we could do stuff. And I worked my butt off to try and make a 30-star hack that felt like the same size as like a 70-star hack. So most of the stars end up taking pretty long to get compared to most hacks. Not that that's particularly unusual for a 100-point star. Now this is the section we skipped before. You can actually do a slope jump from there across the street to the other building as well instead of using the boxes. So yeah, the last red coin was on a red car in the garage up off the street level. It's a bit tricky. And then there was another one up here on the rusted car on a roof. Don't ask me how a rusted out car body would be on a roof. Mario logic. Also, that bomb right there, if you talk to him, he asks you why you're dressed like Luigi. That is essentially the mystery of this game. It's called Mario Can't Remember because Mario has literally no clue what's going on. Just finds himself in a place where some stuff's happening, as you do. So you might have seen in the overworld before, there was a door with a key in it, just like how he's got a key in his hat. So the solution to the mystery will be through that key door. At the end there, we went into a nightclub where we meet a DJ who is sort of like the polar opposite of the DJ we'll see in Course 1. Those characters are just based on like archetypes of real people I know. Like I've worked in live music on and off for most of my adult life, and you certainly meet some characters. The guy in the club I tried to make as obnoxious as possible. He's also in C1, there's 2 DJs in C1. There's a lot of act-specific stuff. I tried to make it so that if you're actually exploring and looking for different story things and talking to NPCs, that there was a bit of extra dialogue and things to find. Nothing particularly remarkable though. Text isn't exactly the reason I play Mario.
Welcome back.
Hey, Katse, thank you. Alright, this section's fucked. Sorry. These Lakitus can ruin your day. They can get you from so far away too. So one of the problems that I had, because I was making this in a really short time limit, was once I had committed to the scaling on this level and the next level, I couldn't undo it. I was working too fast. I did not have time to to test everything. So one day I will eventually come back and make these a bit smaller, because all the jumps are very high. That said, thematically I wanted it to just get bigger and bigger and bigger and longer and harder as you went. So, not too unhappy with it. We're in the town of Desperation Gulch now. So this area is based on like cowboy movies, old western movies. This bit of facade is actually from what's it called? Like Silverado Movie Town. It's a place where they filmed a lot of western movies in the US. So it's like a street front that you can actually spot in a bunch of different movies. So if you go talk to someone in the town during this, they're talking about how they've lost their kids. He's a pink bomb. I'm talking about those black bombs that were up there. And because you're over quicksand, if you try to break the boxes without throwing the bomb into it, you just instantly down warp to it and die. So you have to use the bombs, unless you glitch through it. And then when you talk to him again, I mean, you've killed his kids, right? Oh yeah, also there's a guy who brags about how he has so much money they can't keep it in the bank anymore, so... Raid his stash for a star here. Yeah, this was made in 2021, by the way. One of the things I learned from making this is that while there's nothing wrong with having like a text-based game, it's definitely a lot better when you've got more sophisticated text. So like in Mario Galaxy, when you get like a hint that has like a text that has like a hint in it, it'll highlight the hint word in it to draw your attention to it, little things like that. Whereas SM64, you're very prone to just mashing through it and missing important things. So there's a priest up here at the church who was very nice to you until you killed those mobs, and now he's just screaming at you to repent. But instead of doing that, we'll just send them back to hell. And if there are any fans of Chicago, a demo I made for a Simple Flips contest, that idea came from this text box here. He is some form of interdimensional traveler appearing as a ghost in this game. It's the main character from Chicago. He is also a detective, and he tells you to return to the scene of the crime, and thanks you for liberating his soul, so you don't feel so bad about all that murder you committed. A double murder. Double homicide, in fact, is the name of the star. Yeah, those bombs had names too, don't they? Explodey Brody. What were the other ones? Explosive? The text is leaning in very hard to make you feel bad about the horrible thing that you've done over at that gravestone. And then it reads their names out, and they're all just ridiculous puns. So coming back up here, except this time we will go the other way at the top. Follow the coin arrow, because the coin arrows change depending on what act you're in to help point you to where you're going. Suddenly, the man who we were seeking to speak with, who was the sheriff of the town, turns out he's in some kind of a wrestling arena. Now, the intended idea with this fight is that you stand on the ropes and bounce off his head and back to the ropes, because the floor of the arena is quicksand. But it's much safer to just fight him out here. However, he can just completely jump out of the ring when he does his final attack, the Caterpillar Crusher, his signature move. There we go, Murderous Mario. Winning the day. So yeah, the 6th star in each course is like the story-based one. Some story development sort of happens. So one of the things the sheriff said to you when you came in was he was mocking you for not realizing that you'd entered into a wrestling arena, and or rather mocking you for thinking that you'd entered a wrestling arena when actually you were in a coma. And we'll see the course 1 star 6 also shows a hospital bedroom, so heavily hinting that's what's going on. It's so funny that's like the fastest way up there. And we're now inside the mountain that we've been climbing. Most of the music in the game is from Rare games, by the way. I think it's like 60% is from Donkey Kong games. I would have liked to have done original music. Something I would probably do at some point in a game / hack project of some kind, but with the time restrictions, it just wasn't reasonable at all. All right. So we are opening the cannon that was back in that other area. So there's a tiny little clone of what it looks like to help remind you where it was. Thank you. I just randomly remembered that because what video was it? The Simple Flips played through. I saw Cosmic, the guy with the like Lost Levels and Super Mario Brothers world records, complimenting the music. It's just like, oh yeah, that's right. I did no work. Like, it's all them. I just tried to find whatever ports I could that existed that weren't too stereotypical. The only port that I really made was the one in the final level. So yeah, thankfully you can't actually put 8 red coins in 3 different levels and have that work. You can only put the coins in the area with the red coin spawner. So you only have to collect 3 of these coins. Otherwise, that would have been an incredibly long star.
I mean, it already is. It's like 4-minute long mission.
No.
Not that was good, so doesn't matter.
Yeah, the idea was that would be like the one from before Bowser that you probably wouldn't have, but you'd have all the rest if you were like playing back at the end. So this stage is called Paranoia Peaks. And if you talk to this bomb on the cannon here, they talk to you about how this other bomb at the top was their climbing partner, and they just met them randomly on the plane, and it's all based on the Mount Everest tourism industry. I don't know if you're dark like me. This game is all very dark, by the way. And the Mount Everest tourism industry is like kind of just like renowned for killing people in very stupid ways. It's like a pretty dangerous activity, and people don't take it very seriously. So that's basically what that was describing. Like, that guy had come up here and had no plan of how to get back down, and you're just abandoning him there, which is exactly what happens on Mount Everest. But this is why I like course 3 and course 4. I want to make it a bit smaller. Also, this warp, if you are very careful, you can get past it and get into the cannon, which saves time on this stuff. But you can see, like, basically, if I just made this whole thing like 75% of the size, you could still move around in it fine. It's just way too big. Best star name ever. Tempting a 3-way. A lot of the idea that I was thinking of when I was making the difficulty in the different stars was like some of the movement that you experience in more obscure or harder hacks that you might not have experienced if you just play like casual major hacks or story-based things like the simple flip contest hacks. So like putting a simple, you know, three-way wall kick section. It's like, look, by the way, you can actually do different angles and stuff, you know. I felt like that's what I was trying to do with a lot of stuff, just to show off different types of movement and slope jumps and stuff. And I think for some of the newer players that worked really well, like they learned like jump on slopes higher instead of leaving it later so that you go further and little things like that. But for the most part, I think it just ended up being a bit irritating because it's not balanced properly. Also, some ideas I just thought they looked cool, basically. Like that first star we did where we dived into the pool. I just pictured that in my mind. I was like, wouldn't that be cool? He's like jumping from between buildings on the street into a swimming pool. Like, and this is another one like that where it's like, some people probably have never played a level which allows you to jump such an enormous distance into a wall kick like this one. I know it's very normal, like if you play lots of hacks. I think it's just really fun to think about things from the perspective of somebody who's like outside of the community who might be playing the game, like and designing the difficulty like that. I mean, I was always a speedrunner, so like the idea of like making your own routes and paths and skipping things that are part of the intended sequence being just part of it is really appealing to me. Hence why I'd rather this all be a bit smaller. Put this section in the cutscene as well. Another section where I was just thinking about it visually. I was thinking about Bowser 3 when you skip the moving platform, jump over the top of the things that block the moving platform at the end. All the way at the top. Here's our good friend Mips. He decides to indulge in a bit of existential wondering. Probably the only text in the game where I was actually legitimately trying to say something meaningful. When Toad does it in C1, I'm more just making fun of people. So now, if we had seen in the overworld, the little hub thing we went into is a TARDIS, a Doctor Who time machine. So you're able to go back to the courses, but each time you do the main story star, like Act 6 in a course, the time of day changes. I think that's what it is. and there's like a spreading pestilence growing out from under the door in the overworld. And by the time you get to this time of day, it's completely spread, and everything is dead and destroyed. And the mountain, the Mount Everest mountain, is it called Paranoia Peaks that we could see before? From the overworld, you can see it's erupted as a volcano. And so this time I'm making up here. I can't remember specifically what Bowser says here. Not gonna lie. Is it something along the lines of "You're not really in a coma, by the way"? It's something like that. But yeah, we were indeed fighting on the hospital bed from before, which we will see at the end of the next course. Good thing we have a time machine to travel to a place like before. Now we're in the Forest of Figments. So I don't know in your various countries what they would call it. A full moon party, a tailgate party, something along those lines. In Australia, we call them doofs. Basically just everyone goes and pitches a tent somewhere communally and sets up a sound system.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh my god, no
You're
bullying.
not messing up that start that bad usually.
Oh my god. This is what it looks like when I play. There we go. Clean the bullies off the dance floor for DJ Toad. Yes, DJ Toad. That was it. That was a cool start grab. Tell you more about Australia. Okay, well in Australia we have these things called animals that they want to kill you. That's what everyone wants to hear, right? Well, I mean, I don't really know what to say. It's a drug culture thing. This is not an adults-only community. I don't really want to put my foot in my mouth. Back in the day, it was all psytrance music. It's like Goa parties, if you're familiar with psytrance. But I mean, nowadays it's just like whatever electronic music, drum and bass. Oh yeah, I said that I used to be involved with live events and stuff. I also used to help plan and throw these events as well. I live in the city now, but I used to live like rurally. I moved out of the city on purpose when I was like 20, 21. So at the time, that was like a good way to, just to connect to a regular audience of people to perform music for. Now that I'm in the city, I just go to a pub. It's cool though. Like we used to do like light shows and like laser visuals, and, crazy decor. And it's like every time you have a big party, like you do a really big, unique stage front. Like one year we had like this giant like mural of like an elephant on one side, and then the other side, I can't remember what it was. It was like something completely different. It was like like an alien warrior or something, and then there was something in between them. Like I don't know, just it's all just like stimulating. It's all a highly overstimulating environment. Like half the time it's nighttime and you can't see anything at all because there's no lights except on the dance floor where everything's just crazy flashing lights and lasers and stuff. But as an Australian, it feels good to get out to the bush. I don't know, maybe that's just because I'm from the bush originally, but I don't know. We have a pretty strong connection to nature, I want to say, in general. Maybe the other Australians in the community will refute me, but like I'm shocked if I find out that somebody doesn't know how to swim, because I always went to the beach as a kid, things like that. So people talk about like how scary spiders and snakes and stuff are, but you just learn to recognize which ones are scary and where they live and what to avoid. It's all just part of it. So it's honestly just funny when people act like Australia's really deadly, because it's like, well, the really deadly things don't like live where I live, in the sense that, yeah, there's spiders in my backyard that can kill me, but I'm never going to be in the same place as them. So that's fine. I'm not going to go bother them. Snakes are scary though. Snakes will chase you. King brown snakes will just like slither after you. They go really quick too. It's like a bicycle speed. And as the boy in the family, I have 2 sisters. I had to go out with my dad with his spearfishing pole to go spear the snakes when they decided that our property was their property in a place that was bad. It's just like in some rocks in your backyard or whatever, it's fine. They're your rocks, you can have those rocks. But when it's like your front stairs, you can't have that. You know, like, it'll kill someone. But like, God, that was when I was a kid. It like so much has been developed since then. Like, I live in Sydney. It's the highest population density place in Australia. Like, nowadays, I wouldn't be surprised if kids are just growing up with no connection to nature at all. It's sort of, we've encroached on their space and pushed them back home. I used to see koalas in trees, just like on the roadside as you're driving down the highway. You don't really see that anymore. It's like specific areas where there's koala communities and stuff. It's a little bit sad. We do a lot of mining and natural resource stuff here. In New South Wales, I mean, I guess Australia in general as well, but it's like it's impacted the wildlife population pretty badly. We also have a hole in the ozone layer over our heads, thanks to the rest of the planet's pollution, I should add. It's not our fault. Which means that the sun has a higher UV ray intensity than it would in pretty much anywhere else on the planet. I think you have like a similar problem if you're like in the snow, because it reflects off the ground. So yeah, we have crazy high incidence of skin cancer. So yeah, Australia is brutal. I don't know if you know Celsius. It was like 38 degrees like 3 days ago, and like 2 weeks before then it was like 42, and that is like the coldest Christmas I can remember. It usually gets up to like 45. Here we are. And there's supposed to be text here, but I didn't know how it worked. So when you add an act message, it only plays if you haven't collected a star in the act yet. So when I tested it, it worked fine. But you can't get there without getting stars, so it doesn't work. Here we go, opening the door. And because we have entered at a point that wasn't the end of the game, this place is in its colourful state, with the only song that I ported in the game, which is Birdman from Pilotwings 64. Pilotwings 64 is a great game, by the way. I know everyone like mostly just plays Mario, but like if you do want to play other Nintendo 64 games, that one's really good. Like, it's really really rewarding. It's really hard. Music's all bangers too. It's like SM64 and Mario Kart 64. They have like very similar instrument sets. It's all really similar technology. They're like the launch titles for the Nintendo 64. So they're really basic compared to, I don't know, like something like God, this name just dropped out of my head, like Perfect Dark or something like a rare game. But there's a charm, that early 3D charm. So this is what I always tell everyone to do here, by the way, that little side flip thing. I can never seem to communicate it properly. if you do a side flip, you can throw your head out from under a ceiling above you, so you can just jump towards it. So you don't have to like jump out and back. You just start out. There's other ways to do it too. There's like, I can't remember. There's like, I think 6 ways that I've counted that you can climb that, but like most of them are pretty obnoxious. The side flip things is goated. Also, this is a remix level, running through all the areas that we visited before, because we love them all so much, and definitely not because by the time I got to this level, there was only 2 days left in the competition. So yeah, in the imaginary world where I remade this hack and fixed the scaling issues I was talking about, and you know, other small issues, I would probably just remake this level entirely with the same theme, but better. So like, import some of these objects as custom objects that move. You know, fix some of the bad collision from it being lots of 45-degree angles and such. This one I'm just playing with water up-warps, by the way. If you're not familiar with the way water behaves in SM64, if you enter it from the side, you up-warp.
Oh, I was reading it too late. Someone wanted me to stop at the sign. The hidden one.
Oh.
I just passed through.
There are multiple hidden signs up there. I think there's 6.
In the entire game, I know, yeah. I just know of one in this level.
There's one that I just saw that we jumped past, but there was also one. Oh, here's the coolest bit. In the little garage, I think. Oh wait, that's the next version of it, isn't it? There we go. Fooling myself with the amazing creative integrity of what is about to happen. That 30-star text box gives you more context for the end screen because it assumes that you did the end of the game first.
Well, gotta die at least once.
Man, is that how far behind I am? The collision on that is...
I'm saying it a bit weird. Late. I guess.
The angle's odd. But there's also hidden signs in like each of the courses. I had playtesters, and I asked them to, you know, get somewhere crazy and take a screenshot of it, and I put a sign there. Some of them are pretty crazy. I think it's course 4, not the Bowser level. You can see a mountain in the distance that's not connected to the level. There's a sign on top of that. So have fun working out how to get to that one, because that movement is really fun and pretty crazy. There's another one that's just like on top of like a perfect triple jump ledge grab in the city. One on where Toad was on Star 6 in course 1, but in the red side of the level. And oh yeah, there's one in course 3. If you go to visit the sheriff before Act 6, there's a cave there. Once again, what I was talking about with just picturing things in my head as being cinematic. We find ourselves in Mario's house, looking towards the TV screen, but yeah, that angle, it's Paper Mario. Boop, 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 boop. And that's the game, and it was all about how Mario's dead. But how did he die? You'll have to play the sequel I haven't made. Good job. What was your time?
39:27 or something.
Nice. Russia rushed.